Hey guys, it's Jen with Cards Zen by Jen. Thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Jennifer Blaszak and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Pennsylvania. Today we are going to be working with the Latte Love stamp set. This is one of my favorite stamp sets. I absolutely love my coffee. If you ask my husband, he'll tell you don't talk to me until I've had at least 3 cups in the morning. We are also going to be using the die cuts that are with this that you can order. They are the Latte Love dies, and we're going to be using just this cup one today. But the die set that you can order with this also has like a press pot that you can build, as well as a carafe, the little teacups or coffee cups. It's super cute. I just haven't had a chance to play with the press pot yet. I really do want to, and I will at some point. So currently the Latte Love is on the last chance list with Stampin' Up! On the Stampin' Up! Online store, you will see that it is marked last chance. What that means is that it is retiring. Once they sell out of this product, they are not bringing any more in. It will be gone. Currently, it's on sale for $8 on that last chance category. So you definitely do want to get your hands on it. What I really like about this suite of products is the paper. I absolutely love this paper. So it's a 12 by 12 set of, 12 by 12 pattern sheets, and they are double-sided. So you have the splatter and then the opposite side, the cups, the larger cups, the swirl, the light swirl, cream swirl, the hearts. You also have the coffee beans, the darker swirl. We're going to be using this paper today. I'm very excited. This beautiful plaid, so cute, and the coffee beans. And we're also going to be using, I apologize, we're making our own. The reason we're not using this, and please do not make fun of me, I know. It is just paper, cut it up and use it. But we're going to be making our own stain marks with pecan pie ink, because I don't want to cut into this if I don't have to, because I have a die that will perfectly cut out, this one right here, will perfectly cut out these cups, and I have plans for those because they are absolutely so beautiful. So we're making our own background paper for this. It's super easy, super fun. Let's set these aside for just a second. We are going to bring in some early espresso paper. Like I said, this is the bones of the card, but I am going to change this out just a little bit for today's card that I'm going to show you. So we're starting with early espresso. This is that dark brown paper with Stampin' Up. We are going to do 5.5 by 8.5, and then we are going to simply fold it in half to make your card base. What did I do with my, all right, well, I lost it somewhere. All right, I think I should play a drinking game for every time I lose something. I really do. My bone folder has somehow disappeared, so I'm gonna bring this in for the time being, but I'm gonna have to find my bone folder because I use it all the time. I went ahead and cut the card pieces, the paper pieces for you. I did this to save some time. I don't know about you, but life is busy, and I don't usually care for watching videos where I'm having to watch them cut the paper. I know how to cut the paper. I just need to know how to put the card together. So I have cut to the chase, and I have already made the cuts for you. This is, I usually write these down and I did not. So your card front is now 5.5 by 4.25. This pattern sheet of paper is now 5.25 by 4, and that is going to go on our card front just like that. You will find the written, oh, Clue, come on. You will find the written dimensions on my blog. Just go to cardzenbyjen.com. If you go to the bottom of the video and the About section info on the video, you will see a link to the blog specifically using this card. So it will jump right there for you. So you can go over, cut your pieces of paper, come back over to the video, and put it all together with me. So there's our card front. This early espresso piece is going to be a background here, and this is going to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. We can go ahead and glue this down. My glue's running away from me. Let's try to even that out a little bit there. So we can glue that down right here, centered, somewhat centered. I like to use liquid glue. You'll hear me say it over and over again. I like to use liquid glue because sometimes I don't get things centered and I need to move them around just slightly. It allows me the ability to do that. So we're using strips today. This card is about using up the strips that we have left over with this paper. So we're going to use, these strips are all, the strips are all 1/2 inch. So grab whatever paper that you have and use your strips up. We're going to be using, I think, this side, and this side, I think is what I decided on. So these strips are what we're going to use when we're ready for those. I'm sure you have loads of pieces of basic white that are 1/2 inch wide. So just go ahead and grab one of those. The white piece that's going to be on our card front is going to be 3 by 4. Very simple, 3 by 4. The piece that I always use for my inside piece is a little bit bigger, and that is 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And that's going to go on my inside. I will have a strip that's going to go on the inside, and this is 1 inch by 3 1/2. Again, the written dimensions are all over on the website. Let's go ahead and bring in, what am I going to do first? Let's go ahead and bring in our scrap paper. Let's do some stamping first. So I am going to go off the sides for this. So for that, I like to put some scrap paper down here on my desk. Oops, I just knocked over all of my blocks. I apologize. Let's grab some stamps. So I want to grab this stamp right here that has like that stain, that coffee rings from the bottom of your cup. We're going to grab that one. While I'm in here, I'm also going to end up needing the coffee, this eclipse one right here, this coffee, and I'm going to need the coffee cup. So I may as well grab those as well while I'm in here. And we'll plan to get those going as well. And the clips, see what's there? Okay, that can go on here, I think. Okay. What else are we going to be using here? The thanks so much. This one's on me. I think I'm using both of those. Okay, here we go. All right, I think I got this. I think so. No worries. We make it up as we go along, right? As long as we're stamping and having a good time. So I'm going to bring in my pecan pie. I drink my coffee black, but not everybody does. So I'm going to bring in my pecan pie, and we are just going to willy-nilly, I know I say that, but I am very OCD when it comes to these things, but I'm really going to try to be willy-nilly about this. So just kind of anywhere. And again, we're going off the page, so that's why I have that, oh my goodness, scrap paper behind it. And that should be good. Okay. That is the last that I'm doing with this right now, but I'm not taking it too far. Let me grab a piece of basic white scrap because we are going to, let me see here, basic white scrap, I apologize. We are going to do our coffee cup. So I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I need to bring in my Memento Tuxedo Black. and we are going to stamp the coffee cup. So this big coffee cup here, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that. Perfect. And now we are going to take that, it's the top of the coffee. I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but it's the top of the coffee. And we are going to go right in the middle. I'm trying not to get my head underneath my phone there. All right, so there's that. And we can set this aside. And let's go ahead and set aside our basic memento. Let's bring in the Calypso Coral. While we're stamping, we may as well just do it all at once, right? So I'm gonna bring in Calypso Coral. I'm gonna bring in that strip of white that I have. Make this a little bit more doable here. And let's grab, I think this will work. So let's grab this. It says, thanks so much. So let's grab that. And we are just gonna put this on our strip. Did I get it? I got it, good enough. Once I have that, I am going to simply go at a diagonal and, oops, there we go. So I just cut that just at a diagonal there, and we'll set that aside for just a moment. Get rid of our scrap pieces. They go on the floor. I clean it up later. It's all good. And while we have our Calypso Coral out, our inside piece, let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment. This one's on me. I am going to add to this card, I'm going to add a pocket on the inside to put a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. There are some ladies in my life that have made my life much better and much easier. And I am making them just an extra special card and giving them an extra special something here for all of the help that they give me in my life. So we have that set, and we'll set that aside. Let's come back to close these up before I make a mess. I am notorious for making messes. It's what I do. So let's come back to our strips. So we're just going to lay our strips across in whatever pattern we decide we want to do, just to kind of work out dimensions, where we're at on our page. I think that looks pretty good, don't you? That works. That works. Okay, once you've done that, add just a little bit of glue and put it back down. You're gonna go off the side of your basic white. Again, do this with your silicone mat underneath of it, or do this with scrap paper underneath of it, because your glue, you will end up going off the side. That's okay, no worries. Remember, it's just paper, but we're gonna glue down all 3 of our strips. And like I've told you before, if you've watched my other videos, this is just the bones of the card. Feel free to change out to whatever, get that a little bit closer there, to whatever paper you have, to whatever stamp sets you have. For heaven's sakes, if it's sitting on a shelf or it's sitting in your craft room, just use it. You don't have to use what I'm using, just use something. It always makes me sad when I hear that people have this stamp set or that stamp set or this paper and that paper, and I'm like, oh, so what did you make with it? Nothing. And that makes me horribly sad. So now what I'm doing is I turned it over, and we're going on the back, and we are just cutting down the edge to cut the edge of those strips off. And once we've done that, we can pretty much get rid of our scrap paper. Perfect. All right, So this is now ready to go onto my card front. This is the glue I was using, since the other one gave out on me. All right. I really do like that with that other paper behind there. I do. Okay, so we have that ready to go. Let's go ahead and add some dimensionals to our thanks so much. And I'm to the end of that dimensional. Does anybody else get like super, super happy whenever you use up like the page of dimensionals? For some reason, it's just, I don't know, it makes me happy. So peel off your dimensional backings, and then we are going to add this right across here like that. Perfect. Now let's finish off our cup that's going to go on the front. So we've stamped it in the Memento Tuxedo Black, and we stamped the coffee portion of it in our pecan pie. Let's bring in Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use the light peach pie, and I am going to just color this in. There we go. The color wasn't coming out there at first. Okay. Again, you don't need to be perfect. I love how forgiving the alcohol markers are whenever you're coloring with them, and how well these blend. Obviously, I know that's why they call them blends, but I'm just mesmerized every time that I use them as to how much it makes me look like an artist, and I truly am not. I really stink at coloring. I'm going to come in with the dark peach pie, and I'm just going to go along where Stampin' Up has already shown me with these dark marks here, where they created shadow. I'm just going to kind of go in there on that. Let's go in the handle, the inside of the handle a little bit here. Perfect. And then maybe just the inside of the rim. Maybe just the inside of the rim. Again, try not to overthink it. Try not to overthink it. I'm overthinking it. Okay, I'm going to come down along the edges, or along the lines here as well. Do as I say, not what I do, right? There we go. I like that better. And now we are ready to die cut this. So let's grab out of our dies, let's grab this coffee cup here. And that is going to fit perfectly on there. We are going to be able to use the mini, I'm going to set this aside for a second. We're going to be able to use the mini die cutting machine. I like having the mini at my disposal. I really like being able to just pull it up onto my craft table whenever I want. If you're interested in the purchasing information for the mini, please let me know. I'd be happy to pass that on to you. And we are going to just line him up. Line him up there. Again, try not to get my head. The mini will fit a piece of paper about 3 inches across. So if your die is, like the paper that you're using is not more than 3 inches across, then you can use that with the mini. Voila. Perfect. 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 Let's set this back aside here for a second. And folds right back up and off it goes. And I think I took a piece. I did. I accidentally took another piece of paper with me that I did not mean to. Okay, so I'm going to show you a trick that a friend of mine showed me. I'm going to pull my light peach pie. When you do die cuts, it allows this white edge around the die cut. Some people like that, some people don't. Sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to fill that in with the peach pie. I'm just filling it in, just so it doesn't have that stark white. If you are doing like a snowman or something like that where you have like a blue sky background, then do blue out around it. If you have like I don't know, like a dirt background behind it or a landscape background behind it, you might want to use something really light, like light crumb cake or basic beige, and use that. But I just don't like that whiteness, and so I'm just going to cover that up. All right, super. Let's grab our dimensionals. That piece is gone, so let's grab our dimensionals and put on our cup. Oops, grabbed too many off of there. All right, and we are going to, and the dimensional backings go on the floor. Yes, ma'am. All right, so we are going to just add our cup. It's gonna pop up by using those Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. And we're gonna add our cup right about there. Perfect. Now for our inside, we already stamped it. So let's go ahead and put it down. Let me see here. Oh, lo and behold, I got ink on the back of it. There's a big surprise. Okay. All right, so this one's on me. And I want to put a Dunkin' card inside of this. And I want this strip to hold it. I have two options. I can use the liquid glue, or I could use the tear and tape. On my other video, I used the liquid glue. So for this one, let's grab out the tear and tape. So this is tear and tape adhesive. And if I can find where it ends, and it's tear and tape because you literally just tear it. Love it, absolutely love it. We are going to apply the tear and tape to just the very edge of this. Just the very edge. I do a lot of 3D projects around Christmas time. I do craft fairs. And I have places where I like the tear and tape and places where I like the liquid adhesive. They each have their place. And I don't think that I could live without either one of them, quite honestly. All right, so we're just gonna tear off the backing, and that leaves that strip of adhesive right there. So I'm gonna put my Dunkin' card in here just so that I can better judge, and it will allow space for my card. And then we're gonna put that, press down, there. And now I know that my Dunkin' card will fit perfectly right in there. Press that down, really good. All right, so we're gonna stick our Dunkin' card right there. And when she gets this, she's going to be able to pull that out and say see that this one's on me. I'm gonna close that up. And that's it, folks. Super simple card using the strips. Don't make things harder than what they have to be. Just let the paper do the work. Use those strips and have fun with it. I hope you enjoyed today. Let's bring this one in. This one just had an inside that was stamped on it, did not have the pocket for the gift card. I will have both pictures of both of these on the website for you so that you can see them. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day and happy stamping.